something huge just shifted in the global AI chip war, and the moves happening behind the scenes will shock you. Let's break it down. Skild AI is a young startup founded in 2023 by former researchers from big AI labs, Meta, etc. Unlike many firms chasing hardware, Skild doesn't build robots themselves. Instead, they build the brains, foundation AI models that can control robots of many form factors. Their mission? Give robots human-like perception and decision-making. So whether it's a warehouse robot, a logistics arm, or even a home assistant robot, the same brain architecture could power them. Earlier in 2025, they unveiled their first general-purpose AI model for robots. That model reportedly can handle diverse tasks, from industrial settings to household chores. According to sources and a leaked term sheet, Softbank and Nvidia are in talks to lead a funding round that could exceed $1 billion and bring Skild's valuation up to about $14 billion. That's nearly 3 times Skild's valuation earlier in 2025, when it was valued at roughly $4.7 billion after a Series B round. Softbank's push makes strategic sense. Softbank has been increasingly investing in AI, robotics, and semiconductor-adjacent ventures as part of a broader bet on physical AI and next-gen robotics. For Nvidia, as a leader in AI hardware and compute, backing Skild AI could complement its chip and GPU business, ensuring there's a strong software ecosystem for robots that need powerful AI brains. If this deal closes, sources expect potentially before Christmas, Skild AI becomes one of the highest-valued robotics AI firms worldwide. From code to real-world robots, most big AI attention today is on software, language models, computer vision, etc. But robotics is where AI meets the real physical world. Skild aims to build a universal robotics brain, one that can adapt to many kinds of robots. That is huge, because instead of building separate AI for every robot, you have a common brain platform, faster development, scalability, and easier upgrades. Major capital plus backing means faster innovation. With hundreds of millions, now potentially over $1 billion pouring in, Skild can expand R&D, collect more real-world robot data, hire top talent, and scale fast. That means progress on general-purpose robots, not just factory robots, becomes more realistic sooner, maybe over the next few years, not decades. Hardware plus software ecosystem alignment. With Nvidia on board, one of the global leaders in AI chips, robots using Skild's brain will likely be optimized for Nvidia hardware. This alignment between brain, software, and body, compute, hardware could accelerate the deployment of practical, capable robots across industries and even homes. Strategic signals: robotics is the next big frontier. Softbank's and Nvidia's investment interest is a strong signal to the market. AI isn't just about software anymore. The next frontier is autonomous, intelligent machines, robots that perceive, think, and act. And investors are starting to treat robotics AI firms like software startups with billion-dollar valuations. Building universal robots, general-purpose robots, is incredibly hard. Many technical challenges remain: safety, adaptability to varied environments, robustness, unforeseen real-world complexity. Experts still say widespread deployment of truly useful general-purpose robots could take years. Valuation is already very high. Tripling value in months reflects strong investor optimism, which also brings risk. If Skild fails to deliver, expectations are enormous. Hardware remains a bottleneck. While Skild focuses on software, AI brains, real-world robots still require reliable mechanical design, sensors, energy supply, etc. Software alone won't solve those challenges.
Okay, so let's move on to the next news.
On December 9, 2025, the DOJ announced that two men, Fan Yu Gong, 43, Chinese citizen in New York, and Ben Lin Yuan, 58, Canadian citizen of Chinese origin, have been charged with attempting to smuggle high-end Nvidia AI chips H100 and H200 out of the U.S. to China. Prosecutors say the chips were obtained through intermediaries and straw purchasers, then routed through U.S. warehouses. There, the original Nvidia labels were removed and replaced with fake labels under a bogus brand name in order to hide their origin and ultimate destination. After relabeling, the chips were prepared for export and shipped, allegedly to Chinese buyers, circumventing U.S. export control laws. According to the DOJ, the smuggling operation is part of a broader network that has moved or attempted to move at least US $160 million worth of restricted AI chips to China. The chips in question, H100 and H200, are among the most powerful AI compute GPUs available. They can be used not just for cloud AI companies, but potentially for military, surveillance, or advanced computational intelligence. That's why the U.S. government restricts their export to certain countries. Smuggling such chips undermines export control laws, nullifies government oversight, and potentially arms foreign actors, which is treated as a national security threat. The DOJ explicitly says this network threatens our nation's security by funneling cutting-edge AI technology to those who would use it against American interests. In broader context, this bust comes at a sensitive moment while the U.S. debates how to allow or restrict AI chip sales abroad, especially to countries like China. Cases like this show how easily chips can be diverted illegally, which strengthens the argument for strict export controls. Acquisition via intermediaries. The accused used straw purchasers or front buyers, claiming the chips were headed to legitimate U.S. customers or third-country buyers, e.g. Taiwan, Thailand, not China. Relabeling in U.S. warehouses. Once inside the U.S., the chips were sent to warehouses. There, the original Nvidia branding was stripped and replaced with fake labels under a dummy brand, reported as Sandkian. Export through logistics networks. Collaborators in a Hong Kong-based logistics firm, plus a China-based AI company, allegedly coordinated to ship the chips overseas, bypassing official export licensing processes and avoiding detection. Large-scale value in organized structure. Prosecutors say this wasn't a small-time smuggling operation. The network dealt with tens or hundreds of millions of dollars worth of chips, indicating a planned, systematic effort.
Okay, so let's move on to the next news.
On December 8, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. will allow Nvidia to ship its H200 AI accelerator chips to approved customers in China under export control conditions. The move applies not just to Nvidia. Similar export allowances are reportedly planned for other U.S. chip firms like AMD and Intel, according to the White House. This is a major reversal. Previously, chips like the H200 were restricted under U.S. export control rules to prevent advanced AI hardware from going to China. As part of the deal, the U.S. will impose a 25% fee or surcharge on these chip exports. That's part of the administration's attempt to balance commercial interests with national security concerns. This isn't just a random policy flip. There are clear motivations behind it. The U.S. government appears to be trying to walk a tightrope, on one side, protecting national security, on the other, keeping U.S. chipmakers competitive globally and not ceding the AI hardware market to rivals. By allowing controlled H200 exports, but excluding the very newest top-tier Blackwell chips, the U.S. aims to retain technological edge while monetizing global demand. For Nvidia and other US chip makers, getting access to the massive Chinese market again means billions in potential revenue. Analysts suggest this could support Nvidia's global dominance in AI hardware. Global AI hardware supply chain. If H200 chips start flowing to China again, Chinese data centers, AI labs, cloud providers, even large-scale AI startups could gain access to hardware capable of heavy AI compute. That could accelerate China's AI progress and competition. Market power for US chip makers. US firms like Nvidia, AMD, Intel get a path to recapture Chinese demand, boosting sales, revenue, and maintaining the dominance of US-designed AI hardware globally. Geopolitics and National Security Balancing Act. Allowing those exports while charging a fee and requiring oversight shows US policymakers trying to balance commercial interests with security risks. This could shape future international tech diplomacy, trade tech relations, and AI chip control policy. Pressure on China-made alternatives. If Chinese companies can get advanced Nvidia chips again, the pressure on domestic GPU AI chip makers increases, potentially delaying or undermining China's push for fully self-reliant domestic AI chip hardware. The exports are not unconditional, only to approved customers. That means Chinese buyers must pass vetting by US authorities, commerce, export control oversight. The H200 is allowed, but not the newest, top-tier Blackwell chips, so US retains its cutting-edge lead. There's political pushback. Still active bills in Congress, like the Safe Chips Act, aim to block such chip exports to China, arguing national security. Export license approvals, fees, and ongoing regulation mean it won't be an immediate flood. Anything shipped will be under scrutiny. This means Chinese demand may face delays or restrictions. So while the door is open, it isn't wide open. And that's the reality behind the latest moves shaping the AI chip war. If you want to stay ahead of what's really happening, not the headlines, but the power plays behind them, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next twist is coming, and you won't want to miss it.